So I want to ask you about the student loan situation in the country. And you've talked about this in the past, and you've talked about how it can be a drag on the economy, especially when it gets to be very high in terms of balances that cannot be paid. According to the New York Fed, student loan balances grew by $16 billion to reach $1.63 trillion in the first quarter of this year. Data shows an uptick in the student loan delinquency rate overall, the age of delinquent borrowers, and the number of newly delinquent borrowers. The Department of Education, meanwhile, restarted debt collection activities last month, and starting in July, nearly 2 million borrowers could see their wages being garnished. Meanwhile, here in the Senate, President Trump and Republican senators are working to pass this piece of legislation that would limit affordable loan repayment options and make it harder for borrowers to responsibly repay their debt and get back on a path toward financial health. So, Mr. Chairman, you said before in your testimonies that student loan debt can negatively impact borrowers' ability to fully participate in our economy, and that it can weigh down on the economy overall. Is that still your view?
Yes, it is.
And could you just share your assessment, just from a factual perspective, about how this problem seems to be growing at this point in time, and what would happen if we allow all of these borrowers to default?
So the point I was making, I try hard not to comment on things that aren't Fed policy, but I broke that rule in this case many years ago, so I'll just say what I said then, which is, you can make all kinds of investments, and you can discharge if you can't pay back the loan, you can discharge it in bankruptcy. The one exception we make is student loans, and I ask whether that is wise national policy. People that borrow to invest in their education, that we do not forgive. It seems like something for Congress to consider, that's all. It's none of the Fed's business, really. Ultimately, it's not a big macroeconomic thing, but I've said it before, I said it again.
Mr. Chairman, I appreciate your breaking your own rule before, and I appreciate your
I won't do it again.
Now. I could not agree with you more about the anomaly in the ability to discharge a debt in bankruptcy. The idea that student loan sort of is the one category of debt that we don't allow to be discharged is confounding. I think, unfortunately, so far, it's been a sign of the power of some of the companies involved in that area. And I just came from another